Okay, so I'm staring at the meter here. Make sure there's audio. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I posted that whole thing. Well, it just serves right the trollers to be tortured by not being able to criticize me. So I saw Ryan Brown's in Italy. And I just launched a script here. Somebody asked me about, can you drop a script? Can you write a script that has different ratios for like a grid drop? No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. So what you'd have to have in there is some comment that says, drop this. Okay, you're done with that. Come and drop this now on your entry. But there's a couple reasons why you probably don't even want to do that. Because unless I can say drop them so-and-so apart, I mean, you're kind of defeating the purpose of a precision drop. I mean, your drop could be like here. My drop was on the same instrument. I don't know, is that just a few pips apart? The fill price. So this one I got 0.7 of a pip better, right? On my fill. And the stop was in there. As soon as it gets filled, nice thing with scripts, I mean, unless it's news and you get slippage, and then they wouldn't take that order. If your broker lets you trade inside the spread, they probably let you take it and then just take it off for you. If you're in a clunky retail broker, they're going to lock you out, which is fine, because that's a good thing, actually. Because then you don't have the issue with it being, in other words, you're not going to overtrade it. And it's part of the governor system. It's kind of like when you get in a smart car, you know that you can just punch it to the floor and you're not going to die. I guess that's the thinking. You can still die. You just get hit by a truck. So I'm in the Asian session here coming in. I could have just have easily placed these orders 2 hours ago, but I didn't. So just walked in, stepped in. Asian session's kind of like the London Open, but it's a little bit less drama. There's really only 3 dramas. You close at 5 p.m. United States markets close typically on most brokers here. I think it's actually right around this double top. And another dumbass trade from a selling point of view, selling that retest. And this was a double click, so this is hard coded. I did not hand place this one. This is the C3 key. So, or the C2 key. Yeah, the C2 key, which is real aggressive. So somebody told me recently that I was too pushy and too aggressive. I was like, wow. Well, just because you're hugging trees. I don't know what it was. Very bizarre. I'm surprised that somebody would think I'm aggressive and harsh. I told the guy, I said, I know I'm an asshole. Come on. Can we get to the next problem? So I could take this trade off right here and make $7 and go, woohoo, look at that. And people say, well, you only made $7. Well, if you made $7 in 10 minutes, you're making what, $35 an hour? I don't know. Just work 2 hours a day. So how much can you make? $30 an hour at McDonald's? Or how much can you make? $100 an hour is like attorney fee. You're kind of high-end attorney. So you make $200 in the London Open, or $50 or whatever. Some mornings you maybe lose 50. Like that actually got out. That trade was taken off automatically. So I did not touch that trade. That's another example of the infamous Ledge Profits run. And I'm using the cage chart on this one. Invented by me. Caged candles, I call it. You just create a moving average. You do this at home. And just set it properties onto the high or the low. Made it big and black. And it's one period, no shift. Now I could fuck with the shift, and that is the cloud shit. And why you'd want to do that, I don't know. It's like playing guitar with delay. Okay, I get it, but can I just be my own delay? So I want to be my own delay typically. Although I get it. I was playing with delay the last tune I played last week, and I play with the delay button. I say, oh yeah, so it's like doing drugs. I got it. Here the spread has just gotten wider as you come into this bottom of the hour shit. Here is the classic. Unfortunately, the audio was missing on the other one. I'm watching it here. Well, the Hawk. So I probably shouldn't publish those non-audio. Although it's kind of like actually a subliminal anger protest against the copyright police. Maybe I'm doing that on purpose. My subconscious is looking out for my civil rights, and it's letting me post a couple of videos so far without audio. Fuck those robots. I mean, this guy watch these pussies talk about fucking high-end shit. They can't play just play it. I'm trapped in this British guy that's doing all these reviews of audio gear, and I'm like, oh jeez. So come play it. I see you play for YouTube music. Holy shit, Muzak. He was showing the Muzak cartridges created by 3M though, so that was worth it. So here we go. Looks like we're coming into the crotch here. Sellers are coming in. I think I should get out. No, should I let it go? Should I get out? Should I let it go? Should I get out? Let it go? Oh. And here's another robot you could build. It's the 5-minute get her done robot. Okay, these are all just free things worth $1 million. How many trades is there on the go long when the market's down hard, sell when the market's up hard? On this chart, we could cherry pick this chart and see, does this trade plan work? Yeah, with the right stop, I think it does work. If we're down more than this many pips, whatever the fuck that is, and that's on the clock, it opened here, closed down, boom. Get the fuck in. Goes up hard, get the fuck out. Or sell. We have a buy, we have a sell. We have a sell, and this is in the other video without the audio. Up hard, sell the market. Robots coming in, and it's also getting in the lovely double top vacuum. Boom. Order market is rebalanced. If you believe in auction theory, if you believe in level 2 trading and all that bullshit, because it's just all you're doing is turning an object sideways at a different angle, going, well, look at it at this angle. Like, no shit, Sherlock. I thought it was only 5 inches deep. Well, you turn that sideways. Holy fuck. I mean, you're coming over buildings in the beginning of like a movie, West Side Story. They're using like real rectilinear lenses, and you just see straight down, and you're like, dude. But these are tall buildings. In 1 minute, I'm getting out, or I'm selling. In 1 minute. Robots preparing to sell. Robots on guard. Actually, there's probably some liberal pussy bot that comes in, buys a little bit here. I don't know. You know, they're nice people. But it's funny because you say, well, how do I appear to you? And I said to the guy, you know, we never see ourselves the way we think we are. We think we're being polite, and people think, oh, well, he's just being really manipulative. He's just too polite. I guess that's the thing that creeps me out about, like, Akil Stokes, and these people are just too polite. I'm like, dude, surely you're doing something like, really? And it's like, yeah, you can't even do a real estate deal? Wow. I mean, Goober-esque across the board, right? We just got out of that trade. Look at that. Well, in page number 5, if you notice in my book I wrote, let your profits run. That was an example there. Okay, now I just cashed out on the clock, and I cashed out because it cashed me out. So also I can make a new rule set, and this would change the dynamics of all the outcomes of everything you ever did in your life. Should I stay and let it go to its final conclusion? And typically in real life, I do. So I trade like I would do anything else. Angry, defiantly, stubbornly, and ride it to the end. Until you either blow up the account or stop me out of the trade. Same thing. Okay, so blown account is nothing more than a number. So that's just how I do shit. Until you kick me out of the party, I'm just going to keep talking. I don't know what to tell you. I should have, hello, my name is asshole. Like, just show up at a party, like, well, this is kind of weird. Like, who's this guy here? Did you invite him? He's kind of brash. I'm not jumping on the couch, though. Fuck, dude. I'm not fucking spilling drinks in your face. Just relax. I guess being around artists or being around people that are making stuff has not been the best. I should just be by myself. I can see that. Here, sellers are coming in. Now we see we have for the robot that's going to sell up hard. He's waiting 3 more minutes, and you could be the bot for that. Be the bot. So cashed out. And if you had any, if you scaled out of that, which we scaled into that, and I have my trusty, I think this is 15 minutes on this script. Now this is super aggressive. I'm going to get back in. Willy-nilly. So as soon as that white line cuts into that top arrow, I'll be getting my first fill. There we go, back in. So we made our $8. And this goes on and on forever. This is the worst thing is that see, the sellers are up on that trade already. They just about make profits there, and you can see the spread is the issue. You almost have to go like this to really see it. Okay, so that's about as much data as you want to have. If you could trade a chart like that, you could trade anything in the fucking world as it comes at you. I think the big problem is people have charts that are fucking outlandishly big. Like, you should be able to trade this chart at a 4-hour basis. You see how fucked up that is? You'd say, well, you know what? I don't see a trade there. Let me zoom out and fantasize. It's like, huh. Well, that's a whole... Now it's a different story. So if I go like this, there's no way to force MetaTrader to cut down on the data. Now what I also envisioned was this style platform. If right here you can have, I think, like maybe a 20 character name. I don't know what the length of the name is here, but here you could build trade plans. You could say, okay, if I double click this, it's going to come in 20 pip, and you could really describe the script. And you know, the total risk, maybe the entries. See, this is where it gets very complicated because just say you choose to write some elaborate, and I wrote one here actually. It's pretty elaborate. And I just was in a phase of writing. So there's times when you're, just like wave 3. Wave 3, you're creating a bunch of stuff. Wave 4, you consolidate and you start to say, well, what am I going to keep? What am I going to throw out? Wave 5 is your final thing before you die. So, you know, wave 0, you're not born yet. Then you're born, you know, I would say that you probably 10 years old. Wave 1, wave 2, you pull back. I'd say when you're about 13, 14, and then you're just pretty much, that's wave 3. So wave 4, you're 50. I think wave 4 has been extended for people. I'm sorry, wave 4 would probably start around 40 years old. You're like, you know what? Okay. Or 35. Right? If you're going to make it to 70, if you do the math here, right? So this is your classic price pulse, life pulse. It's all the same thing. If you believe Fibonacci is, on the last video that has no audio, if you believe Fibonacci is a replication of nature's echoes and fractals, and so you can take anywhere in nature and find this golden ratio, but it's a little bit off. It's skewed. If you do a perfect golden ratio, it looks like wallpaper and it looks fake. So this is what they do with these avatars. They look like shit in a way. Here's the script I wrote. Now, it's not the greatest background color for this, but Windows is fighting me in MetaTrader again to try to get to the right color combo. So here you're coming in 1.5 pips deep on a 10K. Okay. So that was 20K we just traded and made like $8. And once again, this could be a 1K, but you got to be careful your broker doesn't get pissed off because you're trading 50 1Ks. And here, you know, you could have this be 2, 3, 4. You could martingale this whole script. So somebody said the scripts are crashing and stuff. All I can say is that if they run, they run. If they don't, they don't. Now, if they run, you add it, you save the last replication of that, so you just have to keep building on something that runs. I have no idea about code. Personally, I don't... I've thought about learning it, but then I laid down till the thought went away. And I just want to know other things, you know, play a guitar, something I can get my brain around. And I think maybe doing some 3D art would be up to about where I'm at now to keep my hands able to play guitar. My bass player lost his... he had to have injections in his hand to keep his hand going. So I could feel my hand, which I've never actually felt that get so sore before. But, you know, hey, it's either that or die. So he'll atrophy if you don't keep, I guess, testing and cutting the edge of possibility. Here we got a stop of 6.6 pips, so we actually have a stop of the spread plus that. But we kind of make up for it. If the spread's 1.5, then we actually will have a 6.6 stop. And we're trying to make, if the spread is this, going to try to make 10 pips, risking 6.6. Yeah, so I'd rather pay commissions. Now here it's a half a pip apart, and this is all for 15 minutes. So a robot dropping this every 15 minutes may not be profitable because it doesn't make any sense. You have to have some kind of fucking manual, or I can't imagine, but this, you're looking to buy so shallow here for 15 minutes. You may want to hit this button every 5 minutes, which I don't know if I can get an EA to do that. And it's really going to have some type of clue of what's possible in the market. Look, we're fucking seriously in this trade. Look at this. It got stopped out or something. I think it just scalped out. Okay, so the 15-minute guys have disappeared. Now we can re-expose ourselves. 1.5 pips deep again. And this puts a whole different look on it. If you look at this aspect of, you could just look at your equity. And this is JAFX account. And the arrows, I can delete those objects and start off. Some people don't like those arrows, but I like to see what I just dropped and if it came through. So those came in. And here I can go to the, we got 10 minutes till the bottom of the hour, so this will be a big deal. Here's the half-hour chart. Like I said, you should have sold here on this screaming candle, which became an inverted hammer on the 5. Since I've been, supposedly there's audio. I'll post it anyways, even if there's not. We'll start a new trend. Boycott YouTube censors. So here's my demo account, Swing Whore. I like this broker, JAFX. Pretty decent spread. It's floating, so you'd get a great fill on your tickets here, 10Ks. So this is my 7/10 of a pip, 0.7 pips apart on that entry. And this one has the bigger take profit. Trying to make 10 pips here. And this, I haven't been keeping track of the balance. But there you go. So the sellers came in, they raped it all the way down here for 5 minutes. Pretty hard rape job. And okay. There's the 1 minute chart. That's a little bit more up to speed for most people. If you really like to scalp, you know, you're buying 1, 2. For 2 minutes you're buying because it's down so big. And that was that big take profit zone. So I'd say the 1 and the 5. I could also put a 5 minute chart here on the right. I have to delete all the charts and say, okay, arrange horizontally. But I think this is an honest representation of even the level 2 people could understand this. Because you're looking at just what just is going on now. That's a 1 minute chart. And of course your money. And if you flip to the 5, it's quite dramatically different. Okay, looks like I'm going to pop the cork here. So if you're still in, we got in. Now I want to put in a deeper order. So if these are hard coded, and I could write the whole name out here, so I could save as. What you do is you save that script as, and you spell it. The whole thing is how you build, for me, how you build a script that you knew exactly, okay, this is 15 minutes, this is, and spell out just what it's doing. You describe the whole thing and what it's doing, and that's a big deal because it has to be in your language. You could learn Windows. Windows, they keep changing and stuff. Some stuff doesn't work anymore in Windows. I like when they said they're going to discontinue Paint. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to discontinue the only functional fucking thing in Bitmap, but the only thing in Windows is, yeah, we're not going to do Paint anymore. It's just too... It's really? How much is into that program? Is that like Adobe? What is that? What's going on there? Why would you just leave it alone? How about don't update it? Here's an idea. Just leave my fucking tablet alone. Anyways, so it's a big vortex of bullshit, and I'm not really too crazy about it, so maybe that's why I'm angry, and I'm like I said, I was pushy. That's only because you're a wimp, okay? Pushy. Oh my God, push back. You poor son of a bitch. Oh my God. I guess that's why I went to martial arts class, you know, because people were beating the shit out of me, you know. So I was like, I gotta fight back. Okay, so yeah, trading's boring too. And here was the one, this is the 5 minute plunge into the abyss of hell. Here's why you would have bought, is because you would have bought at the market here on the 5. That's right, people. There's the holy grail bot on the 5 minute grail bot. You robot's buying because it's down hard. It's also inside this lovely void. And look at the sellers came in at the top there. So we could have waited through that whole thing, cashed out. Now what do we do? I say let's buy more. So I'm going to put limits in. This is better than at the market. I will be buying 50K if we plunge all the way there. So that white line has to come into the... Which looks more likely on the 1 minute than it does on the 5. So there's 5 times difference here. The 1 minute and the 5. It's like eye doctor. What do you like better? Is it better now? Or like this? Oh, I like the 15 because it looks like I'm going to blow up the account trying to trend trade it. Well, half hour. Yeah, I could see that. Boy, this looks tough. So this is like a chess game with about 8 moves missing. No, this is 3 moves missing. So look at the 4 hour. And then you have to ask yourself, why didn't I buy down here in the new lows and cash out at the floor? So I wasn't watching the 4 hour chart. I gotta watch it, and this is the kind of things that would happen to me. I gotta watch that 4 hour chart. I'm gonna make a note to myself to watch the 4. Yeah, we don't have to watch it. We can see, and then look how they trap these people. You can see all the trades here that we missed. Did you put sell limits here today? Oh, forgot to put them in the vacuum. So you have to. It's just like a normal business. Did you check the mail? Nope, didn't check the mail. Okay, you missed something. It's not that hard. You got a checklist. Some people need a checklist. Some people just kind of run it all day long. They're like, God, did I leave the iron on? Shit. Oh my God, I forgot to kill that guy. Oh my God. Look at how hyper this market is here. So this is the big Wednesday night. So this was a wild Wednesday once again. Also this week, this is the 4 hour chart on the euro versus the yen. All the same thing. All the markets do the same dumb shit. And the question is, are you trading that 5-minute chart and you got to rinse and repeat very often? Or are you on the 4 hour chart and you're just waiting for this? You're up on the trade. You're going, dude, I already cashed out up in here. So new sellers be coming in here. Your supply zone up here, see? And here's the demand zone down here. And what's going on? Now, you could explain it to somebody like that, but they're going to go like supply and demand. Is this like, you mean, and then what's going to trigger in their mind is, this is what I'm thinking about. Because I thought many a time of explaining this to somebody, and I thought, oof, I'll probably come off pushy, but I'd say, and then they say supply and demand. So you mean like the economy? Like there's an overabundance? And I go, yeah, but I don't want you to start thinking fundamental. You know, open the newspaper and think you fucking are like this Norman that I subscribe to, the SEAL Team 6 MMA fighter that wants to go against the market for like fucking 6 months and go, CEO's right. Dude, yeah, if you're going to tell people time to swing trade, how do you like being underwater? How do you like being down 10 grand? Because if you're going to make 50 grand, you're going to be down 10 grand. And that's if you're really right. So, funny how people approach them. Here we go, coming up on the time window. Funny how people approach this, you know. I'm right, you're wrong. Fundamentals matter. Well, yeah, dude, I mean, this is so fucking hilarious that a guy would claim, well, you see, fundamentally, I'm right, and I was underwater for fucking 60 days, 600 days. Here we got 40 seconds left. So what kind of fucking bullshit is that, right? Then you got the guy as a technician. Oh, trend line break. Triangle break. Oh, go long, go short. Yeah, I can do that trade too. I can do them all. But who the fuck is going to sit there and trade one style? Like, you're fucking stupid. That's fragile. Okay, that's fragile. It's like anti-fragile, or what do they call it? No, that's not anti-fragile. It's downright fragile. It's stupid. Here, 5 seconds here. Cash out automatically, probably. And then boom, boom, boom. I got more fills pending here. So as the script plays out for 15 minutes, I'll just fucking complain now. So here's critical, 15 seconds after the bottom hour. The next 5 minutes is like a big deal. And this is how it is. So you could have made quite a bit of money this week if you had chosen to buy low and have enough money to survive that swing. You could have risked $1 million and you could have made $3 million right there. You could have risked 100 and make 300. So you're going to pick that number. And what these other people are saying, like this Akil Stokes and these people, like, they never talk about the number. So the people that are saying to me, well, you're on a demo account. Okay, imagine demo is like, in the other video with no audio, I describe this. Let's take a ground level emotional base. Let's take tranquility, for instance. Let's find some neutral setting for your mind. And then turn the pressure up, right? Get somebody pushy to talk to you and yell at you. And so that's baseline. Neutral. You're not in pain. You're not happy. And in a demo account, how do you feel? Are you triggered? You're like, fuck, dude, I'll never be able to. Sure, it's not money, but if you're trading the demo, which I'm doing now, you're going to say, well, that's never going to work. Look, it doesn't work in the demo. I'm not going to fucking. The judgment that goes into a demo is not the same judgment that goes into real money. So people that are saying, well, it's real money's not a demo, that's only from your emotional standpoint. The facts are the facts. Do you have a trade plan? So what if you traded simultaneously? Put $100 in a real account, put $100 in a fake account, and see if you can trade them simultaneously. So most people would go to the music. Here we go. We're up on the trade. Most people would go to the music store. So the next 2 minutes are critical. And they want to buy a guitar like their Guitar Hero has. And there's even a fucking stupid game called Guitar Hero, which I do not recommend anybody use because this thing will fuck your head up. There's a lag on it. It's just bullshit. I mean, there's just no way to fucking. I mean, when I saw that, I go, really? There goes mankind. Guitar Hero. Wonderful. So you're just a bunch of fucking followers. Great. That's wonderful. So that's kind of like, I guess, the group think, right? The lowest common denominator, just the middle of the road stuff. And so you've got your, you're not going to spend the energy to trade the demo because, you know, real men trade real money is the answer to that. That's a drift I got from this dim rim guy and other people like that that say, oh, well, you know, it's, yeah, but if I have $100 in the account and I make $300 a day at my day job, then if I risk $100 a week, so what percentage of your net worth are you risking? And then, of course, when you go in your car that you just bought and you drive to the store, you're risking getting smashed up and being in the hospital. That's a risk that nobody even considers. And that's where you want to be on your real money. You want to be on your real money account like you're on your demo account. And you want to bring those together. So like I said, you should have enough demos running. Okay, because you're not going to book. If you think that scalping is a performance art, then you have to imagine that, you know, unless you're booked on the world tour to go play guitar, you probably still want to play some scales and still want to familiarize yourself with, is there something I could do a little bit better next time? And I'd say it's a bottomless pit for self-improvement or sharpening your blade. So the dumb stuff you've done trading, or just the stuff where you force a trade, or whatever it is, oversize it, over analyze it, like say you have a fib tool and you're like, oh God, that fib tool, it makes me so much money sometimes. Well, what's wrong with what's going on the other times? And to be objective about with money, I don't know. I don't think it's possible for people to. I think the demo is considered an experimental account, a practice account. They also say when you go to the doctor, is he practicing so-and-so, practicing attorney? Yeah, because it's funny, they use the word practice, and somehow that's supposed to be like, well, you're an amateur, okay? But that you have to be a beginner's mind person if you're going to grow. I'm just saying if you're going to grow. If you have a trading system you like and it's working out great, that's wonderful. But, when I saw these scripts, I thought, wow, this could be really something else. Every half hour you're launching a 15-minute trolling buy. So far, I've made money in the script the whole time I've been doing this fucking video. And they still have pennies here. I have to wait for. Now, if I disciplined trader, I wait for those pennies to delete and come and throw in other ones. And maybe I throw them in deeper. I'll throw them in deeper right now. So this is probably a half-hour script. I'm not sure. No, 15s. But this could be a half hour because this is buying deeper. So what I would do is I come up here and I put on 30 and I compile. And then I can launch this. And it's going to last for 30 minutes. And that could be all written out to the right of here. And I do think that's the way to go. So being organized helps, Trading's pretty simple. This chart isn't going to change that much. And, for the people, and it would just be these people that don't know they don't know too much about thinking, that said, oh, look, you're looking back at there's nothing, you don't have anything but the history of the chart, okay? Why did the market do what it did is explained by new highs and new lows. And overextensions and unfair value and fair value and balance and imbalance. So when the market's balanced, it's in a doji. The market's balanced, everybody agrees. They're like, you know what, that's a good price. That's a damn good price right there. Then it goes out of balance. Then it has to come back in because it's kind of like nature pours a vacuum. That's the whole vacuum theory trading. And a pour means, for Dimram, that means it doesn't like it. I feel like that Rush Limbaugh line, if for you in Wakalinda or whatever, you need your Montana stick. I'm still waiting to cash out of this wonderful trade. Look at my wrist stop is like a tenth of a pip apart. Does it get any better than that? And that's based on the fill, based on the way it filled here. And that's kind of like a trolling 15-minute limit order. And that's exactly what it is, a half pip. So pretty fucking good fill there. We can get inside the spread. If I go to trading or F9, a new order, and put in a pending order, and we can see if it says 0 pips apart, that means we could put a buy limit right in between the bid and the ask. Okay, so we're taking some heat here. We're in 40K. Been up, we've been down. I could manually intervene here and take these off. But yeah, it shouldn't be hard to build a robot that could make some money. I mean, or like I say, you could sit here and make quite a bit. I could also put in buy stops, which I don't recommend. I do have one here. Like I said, much rather put another limit in. So here we're crashing back, and I'm getting filled on these limits wonderfully. So here we're coming back into the void. I'm going to aggressively come in with more limits and even more. This is the half hour I just rewrote. And I'm going to put a goober order in right now. This is the 1 minute chart, and we got so it's 10 minutes after the bottom of the hour. I'll put a buy stop confirmation, I think. There you go. So what I did was, and this is just a stack of stops. I wrote some psycho script here. I remember doing those. That's another thing people didn't realize when I was making all that money, blowing up all that money all at once. This is a buy stop. I posted some of this stuff. This is like 2 pips apart. So it's 3 pips apart on the entry. No, I'm sorry, it's straight across. What the fuck? No. Sorry, this is 1.2 pips above on a stop. This is 3/10 of a pip. And then the stops are 3 pips apart. And this is just crazy. It's going to make like, it's not even that great of a ratio. So that's floating there right now. And that's going to last for 30 minutes. No, wait. That's wrong here. Fuck. Yeah, it's too much work. Okay, that's going to last for 30 minutes. So it's filling right now. I'm in some gargantuan order. So I just put a goober buy stop in here stacked, and that's the exit. So it'll be out of that trade by the time it goes back up into the vacuum. And the 1 minute guys bought, they bought, and they bought. I know what they did because that's what I do. On the 1 minute chart, I would buy every minute it's down. I'm like, I want that. Yeah. If I was a seller, I'd say the same thing. A 5 minute chart, down hard buy. You're even up on this trade right now, and you're up on this one. So if you bought this, oh fuck. So I just fucked up the ratios here. You have to go to options, and you have to go to trades, and you have to say objects, charts, use alt key. Go to charts, use alt key. Because it just dragged a level. And turn this down. You don't need all this fucking data on here. Just choke the computer if you put it in any crazy ass thing. Okay. So it's filling here. I'm going to put some more buy stops in. So here's where I think I lose people. It's like, I'm like, let's have some fun. Like, I'm just going to fucking buy like crazy, man. On limits and on that stop, that monster 100K stop. Look at that thing stacked. So we're down 18 bucks. Oof. Down 23. So we're taking some heat. We're filling up this. As we slam down, instead of buying at the market and playing that stupid game, we're playing the goober game, or we're playing the limit game. So we're playing the market maker entry, which is a limit entry, and we're playing the buy stop confirmation goober entry. The thing gets smashed around in here. And now we're down 33 bucks. And of course, if this is real money, you're aware of that money, but you have to get used to like realizing that in your real account, you have to ask yourself continuously, just like if you're practicing some scale on your guitar, would I play that on stage? If the answer is maybe, okay, we'll keep going until you go, you know what, I can see this working out. Now, I know that people want to make money without working much. That's why they're trading in the first place. So they just trade real money. Oh, I only trade real money because I'm just not going to... Like, I know my system, and I know what I do, and this is how I do it, and just fuck that. Besides, it's no fun. There's no real excitement there. It's like if you had a robo-hooker. And having a real hooker is a little bit more exciting and dangerous because you could accidentally, you know, put a cigarette out in her eyeball or something. Like, I like to smoke while I'm banging, so you don't mind if I smoke. You know, robo-babe is not gonna, it's not such a problem, you know. Okay, well, you know, you gotta pay, lost some of your deposit because she brought it back wounded. But that's coming, right, to a home near you. I mean, who needs people anymore? Especially if you got the market. I was hoping my wife divorced me when I blew up my commodities account. Guys, that's in the back of my mind. It's my secret wish. I'm going to put the goober stop in here now. 15 minutes down hard we buy. That's the rule here, son. It's actually not down that hard. Okay, I'm not watching the panel. Let's watch the equity there. So let's imagine we have $4,600 in here. $4,670. I could make this to $10,000. If I really, really got in big when I should get in big and just played this whole thing out. And then maybe this thing goes down and fills my limits, or it goes up and we cash out and we wait for London open. We trade London pretty hard. We can make another $500 maybe. $1,000 in the U.S. market, but you got to be hitting the keys. I mean, you got to be like, dude, all of a sudden I'm in like 130, and then I'm out of 50 because it's scalped out and the rest of it's riding, and I know that, and we just close everything, go back to sleep. And that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think the more you trade, the harder it is, because now you see, oh, I should have stayed in that. Look, if I stay up here and it's going here, but the pace of the market is like having somebody move into your house and run a room to them and find out that they are literally a heroin crackhead. So they do random amounts of heroin and random amounts of crack. Next thing you know, they're up for 20 hours, or they're sleeping for 20 hours, or they go into a 20-minute, 40-minute cycle, and you're like, you know what, dude, you're going to have to move out. So trading is difficult because it's not smooth, and that's why people use moving averages and all that bullshit, is to try to calm it down and bring it in, reel it in a little bit, make it manageable. Okay, I'm getting filled on my goober buy stops that last a half hour, so now I'm in heavy. I'm at 46.90, coming up on 4,700. If we can get it to go up, the market to go up. And it's funny when you talk about, can we get the market, like you're rooting for your team. That's right. You can't get too excited about that, even if you're right. Okay, so we're going to wait for that to go up. Start kicking my ass right now. God, it's selling off. So I'm getting filled massively now. I'm down like $50. And I put a stack of goober buy stops above. So we just went into this little mini vacuum right here. You can see this. This was that place where the sellers scalped. This is their first. If they rode this whole cycle out, they cashing out now, and they're buying back. And so this is our buyback program. Uh-oh, wrong currency. Okay, so we're getting filled on buy stops right now. We're in an immense amount of margin. So we were at 600. Now we're back in 860. I think there's 401 leverage here. Okay, now we're going to cash out as we crush. If we can take out the last 5-minute bar, we basically got to pop through this Williams fractal here. And notice the double top 0.2 of a pip higher than rip down. But the spread's so wide right here on the 1-minute chart that it's really not. This is a better view here. All the trend line people are waiting for this trend line to break. They just broke. On the 1-minute chart, stuff breaks quite a bit. There's a lot of carnage. Here's your trend line on the 1-minute. Breaks here. Takes a long time to make money, though. We just pulled back. The sellers got the ball again. Now we're down almost $100. I'm going to launch my buy stop goober trade. Those are stacking up. And I'm going to put an aggressive 15-minute limit in again. So these things have been, this is the 1-minute chart, so I have quite a bit of exposure stacked up now. So a huge amount of margin using. Now 1,100. That's still down $100 since we started buying this stuff. This pullback. We plunged down here, picked up some more buy limits. Now the buy stops are starting. I put some more buy limits in actually. I think I'm up to about $1,300 of margin here. $1,500 of margin. Down $150. Really loading up hard here now. That's 1-minute chart, 5-minute, completely just two different worlds. Just completely different. Here's the zoom in of the 1-minute chart. So this has to hold. This bottom, or I'm going to lose quite a bit of money if we take this low out. got to breach this thing. I got to cut through that. People be cashing out up here. I suspect they'll cash out up there. I don't know if it's enough to force it back down. Maybe a sweep back down. I think it's going to be more about the... this would be your target for the big boy target up there. Here's the medium boy target, and here's the little boy target. This is more achievable. Because you know those big boys, their targets are way out there. So it's a double top on a 5 minute. That to be their target. Here's a... oh, this is even bigger than the big boy target. This is gigundous boy targets up there. Yeah, that's like... wow, that's the high of the fucking... not the high of the week, but the high of the week's back here. So I got all these intermingling time frames. And look how fucking insignificant. Like, my scalp on the monthly is like, Jesus Christ, right? I mean, my trend lines disappear because they don't mean anything. Those are built on the 1 minute chart. The time frame is critical. Here's the 1 minute. So we just cashing out now. Still took a hit though. We need to make at least to 4,800 here by the top of the hour. We fucked up somewhere. At least well, another thing is that since I'm not short at all, I know everything is predicated on this going up to make money. And like I said, the ask chart, haven't got into the ask chart. It'd be cool to have an ask and a bid chart, and instead of high and low here, it would be ask on the top, bid on the low. We see the spread tighten up there, which I think is happening anyways, kind of. Maybe not. Maybe the spread's tight when this is smashing down. I don't really watch that. Here we have high and low. We just started off a new minute. We're 5 seconds into the minute. And you can watch a candle grow. And this is critical. Look at this gravestone here. Real indecision here. We got a 5 minute doji we just completed. Kind of hard to see there. I'm going to erase the objects. It's going to take off my orders and my analysis. And here's about the crudest view I can come up with. Here's the 5 minute. There's the 1 minute. What can you glean from that? The 15 we have it in golf, but that's an inverted. That's a hammer on the half hour. Right, that would complete at the end of this thing. We would have, well, we'd have a dark cloud cover. Here we've got a gravestone, a spinning top. These are both dojis in my opinion. In golf here, and in 3 minutes we're going to complete. Maybe we're going to get a inverted hammer. Here we get dark cloud cover. Here we get nothing. See how hard it would be. Now the daily, it looks to me like this is a hammer and we should be going up. Or this is the only rally to go short. So look at, if you test your candle skills, I think it's going to be like this. I don't see the point of having more than 10 candles on the chart. Now, I don't have to go to the 4-hour chart. Like here, I mean, I don't have to. I go to the daily chart and the weekly chart, and so weekly. Look at this monster gravestone dragonfly. And that's another problem. One of these traders I talked to, he says, well, that's not a doji. I go, well, for me, I'm not going to split hairs. These are two dojis. And even that's a doji. Spinning top. All the same thing, because I understand people want to get it exact, but it's not exact. I'm not watching the money here. I'm losing money. Okay, so it's crashing down on me into my and I got trapped on these stops. See the ask? So that's the 1 minute chart in the ask. So I got to buy more stops. I'm going to go goober stops here. Because here we go. Top of the hour. Boom. Right? We're going to get a doji here in 1 minute. And this is the lowest volatility because the highs, not only do we have a doji, but we've got the lowest volatility on the 15-minute chart, and low volatility in the 5. So this is coming together like Bollinger Bands here. And I'm just, Bollinger Bands, the concept's okay, but you gotta be like, dude, you gotta fucking trade what's right in front of you. I mean, why is a Bollinger Band like some moving average shit? Just tighten it up, man. Jesus Christ. When I saw that, I go, oh my God, what a sloppy fucking thing. Well, here it works. Dude, I don't have time for that. Look at this. You got bracket. The robot's got a buy stop and a sell stop on that doji. And the 2 doji bots have been triggered. So now it's in the hands of Jesus. So we see what happens here. And the 15-minute has the lowest volatility right there. And the 5's tight. So you got pressure building up here, or you could call it a vacuum. And we're just dead in the water here. We did trap these guys though. People that bought this higher bid. That's their ask. So if they put their buy stop here, they've been trapped. So I've been trapped. And now I'm going to trap myself again. Buy stop. So confirmation here. Just got filled on 20K and waiting for this white line to hit this. Plus you can see all your fills here real good. I call this level 1 trading here. And you're 1 minute into this 5-minute chart. So down hard. We would buy that at the market, but we're not trading at the market, so we're using these goober buy stops as our market order. Counter entry. And the limits haven't filled, but I'm going to throw some more 15-minute limits in. There, real tight. And this is the 5. So we've got 3 dojis. This is getting quite the build-up. Pressure's building both directions. And I'm in an incredible amount of margin. I'm down $200 now. I'm in just insane position here. Look at my equity fluctuates. So this is kind of, if that's real money, it's for you that might be too much risk dollar-wise. I can't imagine anybody thinking about pip risk at this point with all these fucking tickets. Well, how many pips? I guess I set the platform to pips, right? Okay, so we're going to wait this out. So this would be a good time here to imagine you're down $300, which I am. Or $200 here for, I mean, it's fluctuating. But overall, I got stopped out of some stuff. So I really loaded up here. I'm in $2,800 of margin now. But I'm looking at this dollar amount. And I know where all my profits are coming from. That's another thing with just trading one instrument and one direction. You can see exactly what's going on at all times. I don't have a hard time commingling all these instruments. Just solo each one per account and see how you do. If you can make it in the demo world, than you should be able to make with real money. You could trade the demo as if it's real money, very small tickets. They stop me out. So I'm going to get back in. I'll put buy stops in now. They should be filling my limits. Very fast broker. Look how fast these tickets are coming in on this thing. Jesus Christ. Now the real money account may not be that fast. Just gargantuan size I'm trading now. Buy stops stacked on top and limits below. Absolutely insane. So now I am seriously down about $500. So like I said, if you're trying to make $2,000, that's could be acceptable to you. That's another reason why people are like, oh yeah, that's easy to do a demo. Well, yeah, of course. But if you have $1,000 to blow, then this is how you trade it. So if I start it, I'm down $500 now. That's how you'd have to trade it. You'd have to have some kind of tap out number, right? Okay. There's the 1 minute chart. So we bought, like I said, on the 5 minute chart, we bought that big sell off there, and now they've trapped these people or these bots. So we got an initial breakout of the volatility, made new lows, and have we trapped the bears? Or are we going to completely engulf this and end up with a 15-minute pattern that looks different? So, dark cloud cover at the top of the hour, coming into real narrow. If we can hold into this very tight range to the bottom of the hour, it'd be amazing breakout. So this is definitely worth the punishment. If we still have a half-hour buy stops pending here, we'll take on even more risk or more size. And these are fairly tight stops. The buy stops are kind of, if I turn the comments on, see these buy stops. They're ready to cash out. And hopefully we can bring the account back to down to $300 we're down. We're only down $250 right now. And so it's a waiting game. Here's the 5 we're looking for engulf and finish off with a, so there's the 15-minute hammer. Actually, you can just do it bar by bar here. Oh. I did this once at FXCM. I said, you know, let me just look at like one bar at a time here. Uptrend on the 5. I'm 1 minute. Look at this engulf here. We're about to come cutting into this vacuum. Crazy, huh? And we can actually get rid of the shift here. Look at run the chart right to the edge. Take off this chart shift. Doesn't make too much of a difference at this zoom level. So 5 minute, 1 minute screaming up. We have our wave 1, 2, 3. Possibly trying to make back the money we lost by even buying into this. We bought into this plunge on limits. We still got buy stops pending above here that haven't filled. But I got into an immense amount of margin there. So, okay, we're almost back to, we're within like $150 of our initial thing. So you got to break some eggs to make some, you know, omelets and all that stuff. Yeah, back down $200. That didn't last long. So we really need to see this thing go up. 5 seconds before the next candle. This one closes out. And we have a engulf. 5 minute engulf, 10 minute hammer. And we're waiting for this to take out that hide there and keep screaming north. But 1 minute doji. And looking to march north now. Make back our lost money. Pretty frantic here. 5 minute view is it's really dead in the water down here. Low volatility. Trapped the breakout bots in that direction. 15 minute volatility is super low the last session. And we're about to close at the lowest volatility of the last couple hours, it looks like. So really getting small here. Small. Downsize, the movie Downsize. Anybody see that? Watch that on the airplane without audio. Very creepy. I think it's creepier without the audio, actually. Okay, we're only down $250. Waiting for a rally. We're about to update the 5 minute chart and the 15. So we had quite a bit of pressure building up, or lack thereof, on top. It's very narrow. This will be a smaller session than the last 15 minute session. It's pretty critical. And so here we go. We're going to find out either way what the conclusion of the story is here.